volume is directly proportional to temperature. Distance between the node and the next antinode is always lambda by 4. Loop or a mesh, conservation of energy. Junction or a node is conservation of charges. So be conceptually thorough with all the topics. Simplification becomes easy. The next question. An aluminium sphere is dipped into water. A sphere which is made of aluminium is dipped into water. Which of the four assertions should hold good? Something which is related to the anomalous expansion of water. Now, we have studied that at 4 degrees Celsius, density of water is maximum. Anomalous expansion. Water first contracts until 4 degrees Celsius, only then it expands. So it has maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius, which means if density is maximum, buoyancy, which is the floating ability of a substance, is also maximum. Remember, if density is maximum, buoyancy andreno, floating ability in karitive, it is also maximum, which means buoyancy will be less in water at 0 degrees Celsius than at water in 4 degrees Celsius. Why? At 0 degrees Celsius, density is minimum, buoyancy is minimum. At 4 degrees Celsius, density of water is maximum, buoyancy is maximum. So first option holds good. A thermodynamic system undergoes cyclic process ABC as shown in the diagram. So work done should be the area of triangle ABC, half base into height, 10 minus 5, 400 minus 100 is 300. So this is 750 minus 750 joules, minus because the entire process is happening in a clockwise direction. So work done is negative. Anti-clockwise, work done is positive. And given any graph, work done will be the area under that graph. 1 mole of oxygen. He says there is 1 mole of oxygen heated at constant temperature starting at 27 degrees Celsius or 300 Kelvin. 1 mole of oxygen is heated at constant pressure starting at 300 Kelvin. How much energy must be added to the gas to heat to double its volume? So at constant pressure, we know V is directly proportional to T. volume is directly proportional to temperature. So I can write V1 by V2 equals T1 by T2. Constant pressure V is directly proportional to temperature. Initial volume is V. Final volume has to be 2 times V. You are doubling the volume. V divided by 2V is 300 divided by T2. V and V gets cancelled. So T2 is 600 Kelvin. With this, students, change in temperature should be initial temperature 300 Kelvin. Change in temperature or final temperature 600 Kelvin. So change in temperature 600 minus 300, which is 300 Kelvin. But what is my question? I have to calculate how much of heat energy has to be supplied for this to happen. That is, delta Q depends upon M, Cp delta T. This is a very originated formula. Amount of heat given to a system, amount of heat taken away from a system depends upon the mass, constant, and delta T, specific heat, and delta T, constant pressure ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ Cp. One mole, very clearly, mass. How much is Cp? I write is 7 by 2R. Why 7 by 2R? This is where again concept comes into picture. Oxygen, diatomic gas. You should know the ratios. For a diatomic gas, Cp is 7 by 2R into 300. So when you simplify, the answer will be the fourth option, nearly 1050 R. These are the things which will help you to arrive at the answer, students. If I don't know what is Cp for a diatomic gas, oxygen, nitrogen, it has to be 7 by 2R. Similarly for monoatomic, similarly for triatomic, then solving becomes very easy. Very interesting problem. A piston is performing simple harmonic motion in the vertical direction with a frequency of 100 Hertz. A block of 10 kg is placed on the piston. There is a piston here. A piston which is performing simple harmonic motion. Therefore, its acceleration is maximum, which is omega square A. Nenpitkolli mat puna. Acceleration during simple harmonic motion. Now a box is placed on the piston. So I place a box on the piston. The maximum amplitude of the system, so that the block remains in contact with the piston, I am asked to calculate the maximum amplitude so that the box is in contact with the piston. A piston ಮತ್ತೆ box ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ what is the maximum amplitude. Now all of us know there is a downward force which is the weight of the system, and a force acting opposite to it, what is called normal reaction. Weight acting downwards, normal acting in the opposite direction. So mg minus n should be equal to the external force applied. External force is mass into acceleration. Now, for losing contact, very important, if the box has to lose contact from the piston, then naturally normal reaction has to be zero. Alva? If it has to lose contact, normal reaction has to be zero. So mg equals m. Now maximum acceleration is omega square a. I have to calculate amplitude g divided by omega square. Take g to be 10. Omega is 2 pi f whole square. 10. 4 into nearly 3 square into frequency is given 0.5 whole square. 10. 4 into nearly 9. 0.5 whole square is 0.25. 1 by 4. 4 and 4 gets cancelled. 10 by 9 is nearly 1 meter. So the answer has to be 1 meter. The equation of a stationary wave. He has given me the equation of a stationary wave. Y equals a sine pi x divided by 15 cos 48 pi t. The distance between node and the next antinode. Distance between the node and the next antinode is always lambda by 4. If it is between two nodes, lambda by 2. Node and an antinode, lambda by 4. Rearrange this expression. Lambda becomes 2 is taken inside. Comparing this is lambda 30. So 30 by 4, nearly 7.5 units should be the answer. Again, no. Distance between a node and the next antinode is lambda by 4. Distance between two nodes, lambda by 2. How did I get lambda is 30? Comparing the equation in the standard form, take 2 inside. So 2 into 15. That is what is giving me lambda, 30. A simple circuit. This you can take as an assignment. So when you do, the first option should be the answer. Kirchhoff's junction rule, so, is a consequence of conservation of charges. Node or a junction, loop or a mesh, conservation of energy. Junction or a node is conservation of charges. The variation of terminal potential difference with current flowing through the cell is shown. This is volts, this is current. I have to find the EMF and internal resistance. There is decrease in voltage. My dear students, 3 volts is the maximum potential. As you see in the graph, 3 volts is the maximum voltage, and that maximum voltage is nothing but EMF, which is 3 volts. So I've calculated the maximum voltage, 3 volts. Now what about internal resistance? It has to be the slope of the given straight line. So here it has to be V divided by I. So 3 divided by 6, 0.5. So the answer has to be 3 volts and 0.5 ohms. In a potentiometer experiment, balancing length in a cell is at a length 240 centimeter L1. On shunting the cell with a resistance of 2 ohms, the balancing length becomes 120 centimeters L2. What is the resistance of the cell? Internal resistance. So internal resistance will be, L1 minus L2 divided by L1 into R. So L1 is 240 minus L2 is 120 divided by 240 into R, which is 2 ohms. So this will be the simplification. Magnetic field at the center O has to be calculated. If you observe the diagram at the center, it is not completely 360 degrees. Please to observe, it is not completely 360 degrees. This is only 300 degrees, which can be written as 5 by 6 of 360. So expression for magnetic field at the center, mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi in by r into 5 by 6. 2 pi, so 12, 5 mu naught, and I is missing here. N is considered to be 1, so the second option will be the answer. Two metal plates are separated by 2 centimeter distance. The potentials of the plates are minus 10 volts and 30 volts plus 30. Electric field between the two plates. Very well we write E is minus dV by dx. So potential is minus 10 volts to 30 volts. So 30 minus of minus 10. So 40. 2 centimeters. 2 into 10 power minus 2. 2000 volt per meter should be the answer. This again circuit solving. Let me give you a bit of nibble work. These two are in series, so this becomes 50, 50 and 50 in parallel. So work out. So 100 by 3 picofarad is the answer. Please to work out. Yes, you know capacitors in series and parallel condition. Slightly use your concepts and solve. Though the electron drift velocity is small, and electron charge is very small, a conductor can carry appreciably large current. We know current in terms of drift velocity is NA VD into E. Derive ಮಾಡಿದೀವಾ? Electric current chapter ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. I equals NA VD into E. The charge of the electron is very small. around 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Magnitude of drift velocity is also small, 10 power minus 4 meter per second. But still, large current flows due to the presence of N. So very clearly it is electron number density is very large. N, number of electrons per unit volume. Electron density is very large. Therefore, large current flows through the conductor. Now, mass of 3 wires of copper are in the ratio 1:3:5, and the length are in the ratio 5:3:1. Then I have to calculate the ratio of the electrical resistance. Now all of us know R is rho L divided by A. Resistivity R, resistance is rho L divided by A. Rho is the same because all 3 wires are made of copper, same material, so resistivity remains the same. So R is proportional to L divided by A. Now, how do I bring in mass into picture here? We know again, mass or density is mass by volume, where I write volume as A into L, rho, M divided by AL, volume, or AL proportional to M. AL proportional to M, or A proportional to M divided by L. So substituting here, R proportional to L square divided by, because A is proportional to M by L, so this is M divided by L square by M. So R1 is to R2 is to R3 is L square 5 square 125 divided by 1 is to 9, length is 9 divided by 3 is to 1 divided by 25, goes 3 times. So 25 is to 15. Yeah, 125 is to 15 is to 1 is the answer. So again, see, the simplification here is on simplifying the expressions, through which easily I get the answer. Just multiply throughout by 5. 5 into 5, 25. You get the answer. So here it has to be 1. Only when the charge ratio is 1, maximum interaction happens. A particle of mass M and charge Q is placed at rest in uniform electric field and then released. So here acceleration is F by M, or acceleration is E into E by M, acceleration of a charge inside an electric field. So we know V square is U square plus 2AS, or V square, initial velocity is 0, 2 E, charge is Q by M, it is moving through a distance Y, so V square is 2 EQ by M into Y. So kinetic energy is half mv square. So that is half m into 2EQY. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. M gets cancelled. EQY should be the answer. An electric dipole in a non-uniform electric field experiences a resultant torque as well as a force and a resultant torque. Now here we have to find the correct relationships between EA, EB, EC and ED. Observe these regions. There is no slope at all. If I observe EA and EC, they have to be equal because there is no slopes at all. So EA becomes equal to EC. Here, the slope is less, negative. Here, the slope is more, positive. So the answer is EA is equal to EC and EB less than ED. A system of two charges separated by a certain distance stores potential energy. If the distance between them is increased, potential energy of the system of two charges, potential energy is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by D. From this expression, D increases, potential should decrease. But what if I have two like charges, plus Q and minus Q, or both of them minus Q? So here it may increase or decrease depending upon the polarity of the charges. So dear students, see the analysis here. Mathematical simplification throughout the paper is extremely simple. Only your conceptual depth is what is mattering. So be conceptually thorough with all the topics. Simplification becomes easy.